Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. Last week while scrolling through Instagram, I came across a post about the launch of the new Wet n Wild Color Icon eyeshadow palettes. They just launched 5 new 5-pan eyeshadow palettes and 4 new 10-pan eyeshadow palettes. I have used Wet n Wild eyeshadows in the past. In fact, I really like some of their older formula Color Icon eyeshadow palettes, and I'm not sure if these are being discontinued and replaced by these new ones or if they're going to coexist, but I really hope that they keep these. So I think that right there gives you a little bit of a hint as to my thoughts on these new palettes, the formula of these new palettes. I am going to be showing you the 4 palettes that I picked up. I bought them on the Wet n Wild website. I have actually not been around to any of my local drugstores lately to see if they are available at Walgreens or Target or CVS or Ulta. I do have to say though that shipping from the Wet n Wild website was very quick. I ordered, I think, last Tuesday. It's currently Saturday. We had Christmas in there. They arrived just a couple of hours ago. So without any further ado, I want to get into the demo, the swatches, give you a closer look at each of the palettes, and then after that, I will give you my final thoughts. The first one I'm opening is called Call Me Sunshine. The next one is called Lights Off. This is a really nice cool tone palette. And then this one called Heart and Soul, S-O-L, is a pinky rose palette. The next one is called Nude Awakening. I think this is the one I'm going to use. I think this is the one I'm going to test out today. And I am going to start by taking this neutral taupe color and just running it through my crease. It's got quite a bit of kick up. It's pretty sheer. I'm not loving the pigmentation. So, what do I want to do next? I'm going to take a small shader brush and go into this plum shade right here. It appears to have a hint of shimmer in it. And when I tap off the brush, a lot of product comes out. Oh man. Oh wow. This has no pigment. Look at that. Oh my gosh, and it's patchy. We are not off to a good start. Oof, not off to a good start at all. Okay, let's try the color next to it. See if a matte performs any better. Yeah, at least this one has a little color to it. This is a hot mess already. Okay. Okay. And those of you that are regular viewers of my channel, you know that this is what I always do. I always, I'm not doing anything different than I would normally. I put a transition color and then I put a darker color in the outer corner and then I put a little shimmer on the lid. And this is just not going well. Let's try a different brush. Let's try my favorite go-to Say Me Beauty 2.5. And I'm gonna go into the matte plum shade. Right, this is better. This is a little better. It's not great, it's still very sheer. I'm gonna try a shimmer. I'm spraying my brush with a little Fix Plus. nice. And then I'm gonna take this shimmer shade right here. Oh, that's pretty. Okay. Have we redeemed ourselves? I don't know. The shimmer particles are a little chunkier than I prefer, which can be aging to a mature lid, make them look more textured. I'm gonna go back in with that matte burgundy shade and touch up the outer corners. And I'm going to take a flat shader brush and go into the matte ivory and place that under my brow. Okay, that has pigment to it. That's okay. I like that actually. And now I want to try the shimmering ivory. So I'm going to use it dry first and just see how that is in my tear ducts. Nothing. So I'm wetting it. That's better. So the shimmers do need to be dampened if you want any sort of vibrancy from them. Because I received these palettes just a couple of hours ago and I wanted to get this video up as soon as possible, I wasn't going to use 2 palettes in this demo, but I feel like I've got to test another one out. So I'm going to try, which one is this? See what happens when you pull the tape off of it, it rips the name off. So I'm going to take this camel color and run that through my crease. Again, it's pretty sheer, which I don't always think is a bad thing. I like to be able to build up colors, especially if I'm recommending a product to someone who's newer to makeup, newer to eyeshadow application. It's a lot easier to add than to take away. So I'm going to do the same type of technique where I'm going to put a little bit of a darker shade on the outer corner. Got to find a clean brush here. So let's try the only dark matte in the palette, which is this one down here. I'm going to pat that on the outer corner. It's so sheer. Sheer and patchy. I'm so disappointed, you guys. I really wanted to love these. All right, I'm wetting my brush again. I'm just gonna go for it. I'm gonna dip into this gold, this yellowy gold shade. It looks really pretty. Oh, and it's gorgeous on. Now I'm really confused because this one's going on really nice. And it's a beautiful color. So this is pretty. I like this. No, actually I don't. It's kind of like, I don't think you can tell on camera, but it's patchy. It's sort of, I've honestly never had this happen before when I've used a shimmer. It's almost like it's disappearing before my eyes in certain places. It's hard to explain. Oh, no. I'm just gonna stop right here. I'm gonna take this off. I'm going to try another palette off camera maybe. So I'm gonna go do that. It'll probably take me about 15 minutes, but with the magic of editing, you don't have to wait. So I went ahead and applied this Cool Tone palette. I'm gonna have to put the name up on the screen because as I mentioned earlier, I ripped the names off of the backs by accident. So I managed to make it look okay, but using this third palette only solidified the fact that these are honestly some of the worst eyeshadows I've ever used. I'm sorry, Wet n Wild. I'm sorry for those of you that were really excited about these palettes because they do look beautiful. I was honestly 2 seconds away from throwing the palette and my makeup brush across the room. I was that frustrated, and it's been a long time since I have been this frustrated with an eyeshadow. And I don't want anybody to think, oh, she just doesn't like it because it's not high-end, it's Wet n Wild, it's affordable. If you know me at all, you know that I love a good, affordable drugstore eyeshadow palette. I rave about BH Cosmetics eyeshadows, the square pan palettes, all the time on my channel. I love them. And I love the e.l.f. 4-pan eyeshadow palettes. I think those are great. I had really, really high hopes for these palettes. At $5.99 a piece, I was thinking, wow, this is great. I'm gonna have another option to give my viewers for affordable, high quality eyeshadows. Unfortunately, in my opinion, the quality of these eyeshadows is just not good. Not all the eyeshadows individually are horrible. I do like this matte ivory. It's a really nice shade for underneath the brow, but I'm certainly not gonna recommend an entire palette just for that. The shimmers were not great. The mattes were very patchy. Most of them were sheer. I did not use this Touch and Soul palette, but I'm just gonna assume based on trying the other 3 that I purchased that it's gonna be similar. Of course, I will update. I'm thinking that this is going to make an appearance again in my monthly favorites and fails video. And yeah, I don't really think there's a lot more to say. I will be very interested to see other people's reviews, to hear other people's thoughts, because my experience was just not good. Oh, by the way, I did use an eyeshadow primer, the same eyeshadow primer I use under all of my eyeshadows, whether they're drugstore or high-end. I have not had this on my eyes for hours and hours, so I can't tell you about the longevity, but just based on the performance during the application, I'm not recommending them. So those are my thoughts. Those are my first impressions. If you enjoyed watching this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you would like to subscribe to my channel, I would love to have you as part of the Risa Does Makeup family. Just go ahead and hit that subscribe button. You can also follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter under the same username. It's all Risa Does Makeup. Thank you again for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video.